What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Spurs have beaten Manchester United by a goal to nil at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham recording their first home win in the league since November. And also, I think only the second time this season we've recorded back-to-back league victories. So, and a clean sheet as well. Back-to-back clean sheets. Clean sheet at Brentford, clean sheet today as well. So, all the stats looking up for Tottenham at the moment in the league after today's win. Up to 12th position. James Maddison's winner, giving in the 13th minute, giving Tottenham all 3 points. But it wasn't all plain sailing. Here to discuss with me the game, I watched it with him. It's Amir. Amir, we got the win. Happy with 3 points. How do you like assess what you saw overall?
So overall, I'm absolutely chuffed with the 3 points and the clean sheet. Although, like every game that we've had this season, we do concede chances. And I do think that if United had a little bit more quality in that side, or if they were a little bit more clinical, that not only would they have been in that game, but they could have actually nicked all 3 points. So although we got the 3 points, I'm still a little bit worried by our overall performance and how much we let United into that game. The other thing to add on to that is that, you know, in an ideal world, we would have killed that game off in the second half and scored the second. We lacked a little bit of composure in the final third, I thought, to do with the final ball. If we were a little bit better in certain areas, we could have probably killed that game off. But overall today, I think it's a huge win, not just for the team, but for the fans as well. We know that people got together today and there was big protests outside the stadium, and that we know that there's a lot of stuff going on to do with the club around the ownership and Daniel Levy and everything else. But for me, the real winners today were the supporters who came together, not just for the protest, not just for that, but for also getting behind the team, giving them the full support. The crowd sounded absolutely magnificent there. And in the end, look, it pushed us over the line and we managed to get the 3 points, clean sheet, and just starts to push us up the table a little bit. So I'm feeling good.
Yeah, obviously in terms of how the game went, I thought first half, I thought we started really well. We got, although we started really well without creating too much, United then had that little catalogue of chances through Højlund, Garnacho forcing saves out of Vicario, and Dalla having one cleared near the line. And then we pretty much went up the other end and scored straight away with our own good move. Bergvall shot saved by Onana. Maddison, who was having a really great first half, I felt, got the goal. And I thought the first half, we were the better side, probably deserved to go 1-0 up, but it wasn't like the best performance. I thought Maddison and Spence and Bergvall probably in that first half were the ones with the standouts. But I thought United, definitely had their moments in that first half. And then second half, it was a bit strange. I thought for the first 10-15 minutes of that second half, United were probably on top, weren't they? And they were the ones putting us under pressure, and we were kind of struggling. But albeit, again, apart from Vicario makes a save from... Sorry, I'm just looking because there's a sit-in going on. They're just showing it on Sky Sports. But Vicario makes a save from Garnacho, and I thought apart from that, they didn't really create too many obvious clear-cut opportunities. And then we made a couple of subs. I thought that did give us for a bit of a second wind. Got Brennan Johnson came on. Sarr came on, injected that little bit into midfield. Brennan was getting into good areas on the right-hand side, and I thought it looked like we were going to go on and win. And go on and take the game away from them. Didn't quite happen. We never found that second goal. And then again, Man United found, for about 10-15 minutes after making the subs, we were on top. And then again, Man United seemed to regain control for a bit. And I thought for the last 10-15 minutes of the game, it was a bit of a basketball game. We were having loads of chances on the breakaway, and they were having chances like Xerxes had that header, and they were pumping the ball in the box and having corners and making things uncomfortable. And then we were nicking the ball and having breakaways and having loads of openings without really killing the game, and that would be really frustrating from Ange Postecoglou's point of view.
Big time.
So I think overall we deserve the victory. I do think, still after a performance like that, you can't say it was vintage or, we're back on track and this was a demolition, because it was far from it. But I do think it was deserved 3 points. We deserved the win. And look, say what you want about Man United. they're not a great team right now, but they're still a team that went to Anfield, got a point, and played very well. They went to Emirates, went through in the FA Cup. They went to Man City and won 2-1 all not long ago. So they do have a capability of going to these places and getting results. So as much as they're not a great team, and they showed that today, you still got to beat what's in front of you. And this is a team that on their day in these kind of bigger games, they have tended to get results. So we did well to keep a clean sheet and get the win. But in terms of the amount of chances we should have created or didn't put away, and the chances we did concede, there's still, I would say, this performance will do nothing to, it will quieten down the Ange out debate for the time being until the next game, but I don't think it's going to be a performance that's going to convince anyone, put it that way.
James was showing me elements of his game that I didn't know he had him. The tackling, the bite, the fight, brilliant. Long may it continue. Brilliant performance. One other individual that I'd like to shout out as well from that game, Jed Spence. I think he was fantastic. His marauding runs down the left, his link-up play with Sonny at times, really, really good, really strong, really physical. Didn't put a foot wrong for me as well. Fantastic performance.
I'm on social media right now. There's a lot of calls for Spence for England. He's that in terms of his form, and a lot of people saying, he needs to get that kind of recognition. And I thought it was another top performance. In fact, I thought Maddison was probably the best player for the 60 minutes, but I thought if you take the whole 90 minutes into account, I'd probably give Jed man of the match, to be honest, because
fair shout.
For that last half an hour, he was brilliant. He was actually brilliant. And the amount of times he gets us out of trouble with his dribbling ability, the strength to hold off certain Man United players, the pressure he relieves with his ability to get us on the front foot, and his tackling, his aggression. I thought he was brilliant, to be honest, brilliant. And as well, gets in the final third, he set up that chance for Tell where he should have scored. Got to the byline. I thought Mazraoui just struggled to contain him down that side many a time, and I thought it was an exceptional display from Jed Spence. So great to see him in this kind of form, and also brilliant in a sense that Doggy was on the bench. And we didn't have to rush him back. We didn't have to say, you're straight back in the team. And everyone was worried, because Ange said, Spencer's going to be important for when a Doggy comes back. And everyone was like, does that mean he's out of the team once a Doggy comes back? Well, he's showing a Doggy's back. And he's still
fight for his place.
And Spencer's still there, and he deserves his place. And I thought Porro also had a pretty good game overall. So it's gonna, Doggy does have to fight for his place for sure.
Me, moving on to Tell. I think the kid's young. I think we need to give him some time. He showed flashes today of really nice skill and touches on the ball. However, he did also show some flashes of inexperience. And
especially that last 20 minutes, he was very frustrating.
He was very frustrating. But again, I think as fans, we need to be calm with him because he's trying his best. And sometimes when you're in a position of you're running down on goal and you've got a player on one side, a player on the other side, and you've got the ball, it's almost harder to make a decision than when you're one-on-one with the keeper. Because when you're one-on-one with the keeper, you either shoot or you go around the keeper. Those are your two options. When you're going and you've got players left and right of you, you can either continue going straight, you could take a shot, or you can pass it left and right.
It was a weird one.
I think he was confused with what to do.
Because a few times he was probably guilty of being selfish, and then a few times he was probably guilty of not being selfish. Yeah,
exactly.
And always looking for the pass. And which I appreciate. Exactly, I do appreciate that. And it's a weird one because I felt in that last 20 minutes when we had these breakaways and he was leading a few of them. As you say, I think his decision making really let him down in those elements. But I thought before that moment, when obviously it was a bit more of less of a basketball game and there was less space for him to operate, in those moments, he actually impressed me. Some of them like chesting it in the box with players around him, getting the shot away. The run he made in the first half, where Son pulls it back for him, the way he just held his run, waited for the United players to go forward and held his run to create the space for the shot, and he nearly scored. And those kind of things were quite good. So clearly there's potential there, clearly there's quality there, but as a 19-year-old, player with high potential, that's what separates the good from the elite, isn't it? That decision-making, 100%. That knowing what to do with the ball when you get it. Didn't mention Sonny, wasn't his best. He impacted the game, but definitely similar to Tell in that last 20 minutes, he was really frustrating. I thought first half and the beginning of the second half, like he showed good moments and there was a few chances he set up and he was taking people on, but again, it was only really in flashes, and then some other moments he did frustrate a bit, especially when decision making, again, when we're on the breakaway. There was that one moment he had Decky completely free to the right and his head down, not looking, and dawdled on the ball and the chance was gone. So that was frustrating. But look, with other players, forward players now, Odegaard getting fit, he's going to have competition. He's going to have to up his standards if he wants to keep his place as good as he is. Mikey Moore. So I think he's got competition now, doesn't he?
He does have competition, and that's what you want. You want the squad looking healthy, the bench looking healthy, the team looking healthy, the players looking energised. So yeah, overall, a really, really good day for Tottenham Hotspur.